All right. Hope that 5 minutes didn't drag as much for you as it did for me. But we're live. Just your average Joe here, and we're about to go over some of the Mets acquisitions that were done in the last couple of days. Some the free agent targets that are still available, what we think might happen, and just talk about baseball in general. But I'm about to be joined by my co-host, the one and only Mike from Mic'd Up Sports. How you doing, Mike?
Can I get back that 5 minutes?
Hold on 1 second, because look, dude, you're on and we got to clap. We're here. Okay. So we obviously got news that the Mets just signed Adam Ottavino, picked up a right-handed relief pitcher today. Yesterday, they picked up starting pitcher from the Oakland A's, Chris Bassitt. So we got two arms. Now, from what I'm understanding, because another deal also was done this weekend, Ottavino is going to replace Familia, who signed with the Phillies. So that's
bye, Familia.
Yeah, bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Don't come back again like you did the last time.
Yeah, honestly, when he got traded to the A's a few years ago, he didn't do a bad job. And I think
and then he comes back over here and then we got fucked. So,
he wasn't that bad, dude. I mean, what are you going to do? But yeah, so we got Adam Ottavino. We got Chris Bassitt. Now, Chris Bassitt, I am familiar with, not only because of my MLB The Show, my gaming expertise, have you, but the simple fact that I was part of I had a fantasy baseball team last year, and Chris Bassitt was actually a pitcher that I kept picking up, spot starter, and I kept picking him up, and he, for the most part, did good. I mean, dude, he was 12-4 with the A's. Granted, it's American League. Oakland is a pitcher's park, but obviously I don't think all 12 wins. I mean, I don't have it in front of me. I don't know. Well, I don't think all 12 wins came just in Oakland. And he had a 3.15 ERA. The previous year, again, shortened season, 5-2, ERA 2.29. So he's not, and he was an all-star last year. So he's not by any means, like, he will be a third starter. I think, obviously I'm not Buck Showalter. I'm not making the rotation. But if I had to guess, I would go DeGrom, Scherzer, and then Bassitt, then Walker, and then Carrasco. That's how I would put it. Taijuan Walker gave us a great first half last year, but after the All-Star break, you just,
yeah.
He picked it back up again towards the end of the year, but wow, August was dreadful. Ottavino, I believe he played with the Rockies, short stint with the Yankees. Not high ERA, not the best arm in baseball, but again, we needed somebody to take over for Jeurys Familia. I do not believe they're done now. I'm looking over some of the targets, Mike. They're still eyeing. I don't think they're going to get Josh Hader. I believe they're eyeing Taylor Rogers, another relief pitcher. I believe a lefty. I'm pretty sure Taylor Rogers is a lefty. Chafin, Colin McHugh, which is a right-handed pitcher. I don't think they're going to get Colin McHugh because they got Ottavino. Now, Raciel Iglesias, he's a closer I believe he's with the Reds. Wait, was he still with the Reds or did he go with the Angels? I see a red jersey. Either way, he's another arm that they're looking at, but I don't know. That's what we might get as far as arms go. I don't know. They're potentially in on Nelson Cruz, but I think we have enough guys on our bench that could be a DH. I wouldn't mind a Nelson Cruz as your full-time DH. I mean, even at 40-something years old, the guy's fucking still lighting it up. Pretty sure he's 40 or older. Freeman, I think right now at this point, Freddie Freeman is wishful thinking. I don't think that's going to happen. Dodgers, I honestly think by early this week, because right now you still have Carlos Correa, you have Trevor Story, and you have Freddie Freeman. I think those are the three high-profile, and Chris Bryant. Those are the four high-profile guys that are still available. So one of them is going to sign soon. And with Ronald Acuna, all-star outfielder for the Braves, not due back until May. I don't know if that lights a fire under the Braves' ass to maybe give Freddie Freeman a little bit more money. I have no idea. I honestly don't know what the deal is with that. I don't know. Maybe if they can't afford it. I have no idea.
Well, I mean, it depends. I mean, Cohen already said he's not worried about going over the tax.
Yeah, but did you see how much they have to be taxed once they go over a certain threshold?
How much?
It's not the same. So the way it's broken down is it's not the same for every team because it also goes by how many years consecutively you've went over that threshold.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that they would use the Giants as an example. Pretty sure it was the Giants. I can't remember what team it was, but they were at the cusp, but they're not there yet. So they still have some wiggle room to spend. But if they were to go over the threshold because they went over the threshold last year, they would have to pay 30% of how much they went over, which is nothing to Cohen, but I don't know if that's the same for the Mets. So I don't know how much it is, but they did make it where if you do pass a certain threshold.
But he said he's not worried. So
yeah.
So basically, he's giving MLB the middle finger and saying, you know what? Fuck you.
Now, here's the thing. If I'm Steve Cohen, I'm not saying that I want Cohen to go out and spend $1 billion, right? Mm-hmm. But if I'm Steve Cohen, if I'm making, it's obvious I think he's going all in because he wants to win now, right? If you want to win now, if the Dodgers, especially a team like the Dodgers, forget about what the Blue Jays are fucking silently building since last year. But if you really want to make it far into the playoffs or even make the playoffs, but go into the World Series, you cannot allow a guy like Freddie Freeman to go to LA.
No,
you can't. You can't. So do I think we need Freddie Freeman? I don't think so. I would love him. I would love him on the, in the lineup or, whether first baseman or whatever, most likely first baseman. But I think it's also more of a strategic move where you don't want certain other teams to get him, like the Yankees. I mean, it's less of a, even though you obviously would play a team in the AL in the World Series, but I think it's more detrimental to keep them away from an NL team like the Dodgers. So I don't know if that's in his train of thought or, what they're telling him and whatever, but we'll see. I know we've been linked to Chris Bryant since last year, last year's offseason. And then of course this year's offseason. I don't know if Chris Bryant still makes sense. They definitely still need an arm and they need a lefty. They have no left-hand started pitching except for David Peterson, which we know what happened last year. So we don't know what we're going to get with David Peterson. And I'm almost positive they don't have a lefty in the bullpen.
I don't think they do.
I don't think they do. So that's why Rogers, if it is the Rogers I'm thinking of, because there's two different Rogers, if it is Taylor Rogers, I believe Taylor Rogers is the lefty. I think he's the one that's on the Twins or one of the AL teams. I don't know. So or obviously Josh Hader. Can you imagine having Josh Hader, man? That fucking type of lefty as a setup to, because he's a closer. I believe he's a closer, or he's a setup guy on the Brewers. Because I'm thinking of Devin Williams. I don't know if Devin Williams is their closer or not. I honestly don't know who the closer is anymore on the Brewers, but I do know Josh Hader is a big part of that Brewers bullpen. If we had a guy like Josh Hader as a setup to Edwin Diaz, oh shit, man. Fuck.
We'll be set.
I hope so. And we don't have anybody in the chat right now. But remember last time we were on talking baseball, Derpy Gaming came on and made a breaking news about football. Now, I do want to say, I know this has nothing to do with football, but as far as breaking news goes, fucking Tom Brady coming back. That's insane.
I just talked about this with some friends.
That's insane. They said his retirement was shorter than the MLB lockout.
fuck Tom Brady. That's all I gotta say. Just
My
just fuck
brother,
Tom
you know,
Brady.
so my brother told me the other day that he thought that we all kind of figured he was going to come out of retirement, but we thought we were talking about the possibility of him coming out of retirement to play for the 49ers.
That's
So
what I mean. That's what we all thought. But
I was back with the Bucks.
you know, well, the Bucks probably figured this. All right, we didn't get Russell Wilson. We're still not sure about Deshaun Watson.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe they made a phone call. Maybe Aaron's called him and said, "You sure you want to do this?"
So really quick, going back to baseball, I said something about Chris Bryant, right? The only way I think Chris Bryant might make sense, and this is just me making up a team in my head. If you did pick up Chris Bryant and you move him to third base, you now have the flexibility of starting Eduardo Perez at second and possibly moving McNeil. Because there are teams have shown moving. Goodbye.
Oh, trading.
Teams have shown interest in JD, Dom, and McNeil. So I'm not saying I wouldn't mind. Look, I know, and I got a lot of shit for this because I said this on Instagram about how I wouldn't mind if they got traded, and somebody was like, "Well, he's been their best hitter," and I was like, "Yeah, but we talked about this, man. A lot of just really bad first pitch swings." I get his batting average is high and whatever, but so I don't know. And the other thing I have is our love affair with these players like Conforto, Jeff McNeil, guys that have been on the team for a good amount of years, right?
And Conforto hasn't found a team yet either. He might come back.
We don't know. But the point is, dude, we got to stop the love affair. I do love Conforto. I do love McNeil. But have we won anything with these guys on our team? No.
Absolutely not.
So maybe it's time to move on. I have no idea.
All I know is I got my Final Four already picked.
What?
I did my bracket where you had me in the.
We are talking everything about. We're talking everything but baseball right now. What's going on?
All right, so here's my Final Four, guys.
I don't want to know.
Gonzaga and Kentucky.
Okay.
Tennessee and Kansas.
All right.
Gonzaga and Kansas in the finals, and Gonzaga winning the whole goddamn thing.
Okay. I feel like everybody picks Gonzaga every year. So, I have no idea who, besides those four teams that you just mentioned, I have no idea who's in it. So
I don't either. I just pick.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, I go by the seeding, and I just pick a couple of teams that could upset in between.
I'll watch it. I'll watch the Final Four. I'll watch the finals. But other than that, dude, So there were other. We all know Clayton Kershaw re-signed with the Dodgers, so he's back for 1 year with them. The White Sox. Who do the White Sox add? The White Sox added Josh Harrison. So the White Sox added Josh Harrison and somebody else. Yesterday, I believe yesterday or today. That was big. Fuck, man. And there were some other trades, nothing really big, like Mitch Garver was traded from the Twins. He's now a fuck. What the fuck is Mitch? I believe, is it not the Rangers? Maybe it was the Rangers. Because I said, the Rangers are fucking building that. They're another one that spent heavily before the lockout. Mitch Garver's a catcher, by the way. He's actually a decent catcher. He's a good catcher. Yeah, it is the Rangers because
wasn't there a third baseman on Minnesota that the Mets are actually looking at in case the Bryant deal didn't go through?
I
read something about that before the lockout that they were interested in this guy from Minnesota.
Hold on, let's see. MLB Twins. You sure you're 100% sure it's the Twins?
I think it was the Twins.
All right, Twins rosters and stuff. Let's see. You said third baseman, right?
Yeah.
Go to depth chart. Oh yeah, Josh Donaldson. I can't believe I don't know why I couldn't remember fucking Josh Donaldson was on the Twins.
They were actually thinking about going after him because
he was another one. He was going to be
because they had a feeling like Chris Bryant wasn't going to be interested in coming to New York.
Which I don't know why he wouldn't. I think teams that want to win, and I don't want to. I don't want to say this. I don't want it to sound like we're just saying this because we're the Mets. And I joke around how this team is cursed and they're cursed or whatever. But yeah. And by the way, Taylor Rogers, if it is if that was the Rogers that they were alluding to, Taylor Rogers is the lefty and he's from the Twins as well. And I said that earlier. So that would be a good arm if they were to get him. But yeah, dude, if you're a ball player right now, why wouldn't you? A guy like Chris Bryant, why wouldn't you want to come to the Mets?
It depends on geographic too, because some guys don't want to play in a big, high-profile city. Look what happened to Lindor last year. He went from playing in Cleveland to coming over there, and as soon as he started not doing anything, the fans shitted on him. And I was one of them. I'm the guy that said that he's going to take a 10-year vacation and then the last year show up so he can get a bigger contract with another. But that's the whole thing. Look at Nolan Ryan's career.
Okay, right? I'm looking and I'm liking.
No, but look at the career he had. Right when he was with the Rangers and Houston
and the Mets.
He was with the Mets first.
I know.
He didn't like playing in New York.
There is some. No, you're right. There are certain.
And he's a country boy from Texas. He went back to Texas.
There are certain players, so it's not. Well, it's not necessarily. It is about geographic, but it's not necessarily about geographic. It's more about the market and the big markets. They don't want to play under the spotlight. There are teams there are players that don't want to play under the spotlight. So that's a different story. They don't want to be big city folk.
Right.
That's what it comes to.
So maybe Chris Bryant is that type of person that doesn't want to play under a big spotlight.
Chicago is not a small market, dude.
Still is.
Neither is San Fran.
It's not a small market, but New York is a bigger market than San Fran. New York is a bigger market than Chicago, I think.
Oh, Joe Kelly. That was the other one. That was the arm they got. I knew it was an arm. I couldn't remember who it was. So the White Sox got Joe Kelly and, as I said earlier, Josh Harrison. So that was that was the signings they did yesterday. Yeah. So White Sox. So right now, they have the Mets. I think the Yankees are number 4 in the power rankings. I think my brother said that the Mets are number 6. I think.
I gotta see what the odds are the Mets are to win the World Series this year. I'm just curious for shiggles.
But I gotta say, man, I think the one team you got to be worried about, besides the White Sox, I think my brother said the White Sox were ranked 2 right now in power rankings. Which I'm not saying they have a bad team. Obviously, they have a great team. They do. Losing Carlos Rodon doesn't help, but I'm sure they'll pick up the slack somewhere. Maybe even start Kopech, because Michael Kopech is one of the young arms that they've been babying because of injury. I believe he had. I believe he came back from Tommy John. So since then, they've been just utilizing him out of the bullpen, like a spot starter or a long reliever, and so maybe Kopech gets bumped into the rotation since Rodon was gone. But the Blue Jays, bro, I'm telling you, we said last year that the Blue Jays, we already know their lineup is stacked as far as hitters go, but now they added Kikuchi, right? The left-hander from Seattle, which I thought maybe the Mets would get, because the Mets, again, have no fucking southpaws in their starting rotation, unless Peterson has a great spring and shows something that he hasn't. But the fucking Blue Jays team, man. Mets are 5th. Okay. Thanks, Mike. So Mets are 5th. So they're right behind the Yankees, but even still, because Mike and I were talking about that, what do the Yankees have so much better than the Mets? I think the Mets have a better rotation, starting wise, and I think they have a better lineup, to be honest with you. I mean, I know the Yanks have Joe Judge and Stanton. I know those guys are power hitters, and they play in fucking Little League Park, Yankee Stadium. But I don't know. I have no idea. Mike says I think it's plus 1,100.
DraftKings have them at plus 1,000. I just looked.
Maybe Ottavino shaved 100.
Maybe. I'm looking at the odds right now. I mean, the Yankees are 9-1. I mean, the Dodgers are favored at 7-1.
Okay.
The Astros are 9-1. The Mets are 10-1.
Yeah. The Dodgers are power number one power rankings, Mike? Either Mike. Either one. Either one that wants to answer it.
Well, according to the odds are the Dodgers are favored to win the World Series.
Well, where are the White Sox?
White Sox are 11.
So who's in between the
11.
Dodgers? Who's in between the Dodgers and the White Sox?
Houston.
All right. So the
Yankees
power rankings
and the Mets.
All right. So the power rankings aren't reflecting in the what do you call it? In the odds.
No.
Okay. All right. So that's completely different. I have no idea. But again, the Blue Jays, I think, are a scary team, and so are the Rangers. When it comes to AL, I know everybody thinks the Yankees, just because they're the Yankees, they're going to be in it, or they're going to be contenders. But the rest of the AL built an arsenal, and the Yankees have yet to still do anything. What are they doing? Now they might land Freeman, they might land Correa. I don't know, or Travis Story. I have no idea who they're going to land.
Yeah,
but I don't think they're a Freddie Freeman or Carlos Correa or a Travis Story away from fucking going to the World Series. Not when you got Joe for Joe for $1 million. You want me for $1 million? I'll take it. Okay. I'll take the $1 million, sure. What was I saying? Well, guys, teams like the Rangers, teams like the Blue Jays, the White Sox were already good before, last season. Injuries hurt them towards the end of the year. Tim Anderson going down, some of their other starters. I said the Rangers, Mariners. I don't know about the Mariners. I honestly don't know about that AL West, other than what do you call it? What we just said, the Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
The Blue Jays, I don't know about the Red Sox. I don't know if the Red Sox can be. White Sox are scary. They are. I think the White Sox in Toronto or Texas, but maybe I think more so Toronto, because Toronto, the only thing that they were missing were arms. I'm not saying that they were walking around like this. They had arms. The players have arms, obviously, but I mean pitching. And we're getting Kikuchi and who else they might get. I don't know. But I feel like they got something else besides obviously, and they got Kevin Gausman. So they're starting rotation right now for the Toronto Blue Jays. Their top three. You got Kevin Gausman, Jose Berrios, Kikuchi. Do they still have Matz? Is Steven Matz still on that team?
On Philly?
No, Philly. Toronto. The Blue Jays.
Oh, wait. I got confused.
The Blue Jays.
Which one of our... Oh, Wheeler went to the Phillies. What the fuck am I thinking?
What the hell are you talking about?
What the fuck are you looking at?
The Toronto Blue Jays, man. They have some question mark, because Kevin Biggio had a... Mike said to wake up. Kevin Biggio had a very down year, but with Bo Bichette, Vlad Jr.,
Bo Bichette?
Bo Bichette. Yeah, it's Dante Bichette's son, Bo.
I thought it was Boba Fett's kid.
Yeah, Boba Fett. And they're talking about possibly fucking picking up Freeman. Freeman, I guess, would be I don't know. No, I guess Vladdy would be DH. Well, Vladdy plays third, I think, too. Toronto Blue Jays. I want to see their lineup. Roster. No, you know what? Go to depth chart. Depth chart. You know what? Let's look at their position players. You got Alejandro Kirk, Vladdy Jr., Kevin Biggio, and I'm sure he'll have a better year, bounce back year than last year. Bo Bichette, as I said, Espinal at third, Gurriel, Springer, and Grichuk in their outfield. And right now, their DHs could be, obviously they can interchange. And Ryu, that was the other one. Oh, and I forgot about the young star Alex Manoah. They have two. So Kevin Gausman, Jose Berrios, Ryu, Manoah, where the so is Matt's no longer there anymore?
I have no idea.
Mike says Bassitt is an Easter. I almost said an Easter, an innings Easter is an innings eater. Great move. Yeah, yeah. Who the fuck? Mike, is Steven Matz no longer on the Blue Jays?
Yeah, look now.
You know what? I have a feeling I already knew that. I think Matz. Wait, didn't Matz go to the Angels?
Looking up right now.
I think Steven Matz went to the Angels with Noah. Yeah, Ryu is really good. I'm telling you, dude.
No,
I'm pretty sure he went to.
No, Matz is on. If I'm looking at this right, they get him as a Cardinal.
Oh yes, that was the okay. All right, you're right. He's a Cardinal. He is a Cardinal. I forgot. That was a deal that was made right before the lockout. He went to the Cardinals. Yeah.
Yeah, Steven Matz reached his deal with Cardinals.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. St. Louis. I remember when it happened. Because remember, Steve Cohen got butthurt because he thought he was getting Matz back. I don't know, man. Anybody that you want, anybody you can think of that you'd want for the Mets to go. So is Chris Bryant your guy? If you're Cohen, do you want Chris Bryant?
I mean,
even though you just came on here the other day and said that Freddie Freeman is going to be a Met, you called it.
I mean, I would say though Freddie Freeman would be a great pickup, but they were eyeing Chris Bryant before even Freddie Freeman was a thought.
Yeah, I know.
But so if Chris Bryant is available,
I think at that point though, I don't think they ever thought, at least I don't know. Maybe Freddie Freeman was never an option. They didn't think. Maybe they didn't think that the Braves was going to let him go.
I mean, the Braves can still re-sign him if they want. I mean, if they still want to keep him around, I don't know why they wouldn't, considering he was one of the main reasons they won the World Series. But if I was him, I would have stayed and tried to go back to back. But I mean, they want to look. If they can get Chris Bryant to play third base, that would be great. Like I said, and like we said the other day, we don't need Freddie Freeman if we have Alonso. But if we can put Alonso as a DH, but then, like you said, where do you put Cano? Where do you put Dom Smith?
I mean, where I want to put Cano. I want to put him on the nearest Uber and send him away. But we know that can't happen. That would be a very expensive Uber ride.
Yeah, it would be.
Look, Freeman, I get it. Freeman's 32. He's going to be 33 this September. He just won a World Series. He's been with the Braves, for forever. He wants to explore his options. He wants to get the big payday. I get it. So, and I don't think it's in the budget for the Atlanta Braves to do that. And teams like the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Mets, if the Mets wanted to, those are the ones that can at the moment if they wanted to. I just don't know. Because like if you see these other deals the Mets are doing, they're very small. I don't know if the Mets can offer him a big contract. So I think that's why the Mets aren't really going to push for him.
Yeah.
I still think they might land Chris Bryant just for another bat, move McNeil, whether that's just to the bench or I don't know, because we know McNeil can play left. I don't know. I don't really want him playing left field.
I don't know. I like, and like you said, we got they picked up what's his name, Martin over there in center, and you don't know if he's even Marte. You don't know if he's going to play center or not because you can still use Nemo. I mean, Nito's the catcher. Nemo in center. I mean, or you can put Nemo in right.
Yep.
You could, you can put, but then they get a left fielder too.
Marcana.
Yeah. Okay, so Connor's got left. Marte in the center. You can put Nemo in right. You can put him and McNeil can platoon. Even if God forbid if they re-sign Conforto. I don't. I can't see them re-sign.
Look, if he's not, well, here's the thing, and I said this before too.
I mean, he was so sure of himself. Oh, I'm gonna go somewhere and make a big
Exactly.
big
He
payday,
wanted the big payday. If we can get him,
and nobody fucking wants him now. Now, if he really does want to come back to the Mets, Steve Coleman can go. Well,
we'll give you half of what you want.
We'll give you half of what you want because, like you said, talking out of your asshole, you said you were worth all this money and nobody picked you up. So why should I pay you?
Yeah.
$40 million when nobody wants you for $40 million, and I can give you 20 now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right.
Because you're a piece of shit right fielder.
Yeah, you're right. It was Aaron Loop. Aaron Loop's the one that I knew there was a team. It was some Met that followed Noah. It was Aaron Loop. That's why. And I remember
James's favorite.
And the other thing is too,
pitcher.
I always sometimes, depending on the color of the jersey, sometimes I'll say the wrong team name. And the Cardinals are red and white, Angels are red and white. So whatever. Yeah, look, I agree. And this period from now until April 7th is going to be fun, and I think these deals again. There's no way.
We're only from Friday to today, 3 days, barely 3 days out.
That's it.
And already there's like craziness going on. I mean, the next.
Well, I said this. I said once the
next 3 weeks are going to be a good time.
Once the lockout ended, we knew things were going to news and things were going to happen quick. We knew that, and I said it was probably going to happen this weekend. I'm just surprised the bigger names are still there.
I would love to hear. I would love to see Chris Bryant get signed by the Mets, though.
Yeah,
I think it'll be worth it.
How would you how would you make that lineup? I don't know. I'd have to sit down and think about it.
Well, that's more up to Buck Showalter than me and you, Joseph.
Well, yeah, I know. It's a lot of righties, though, if I'm not mistaken. Marte's. Well, I'll pick out the righties first. You got Alonso.
Your brother says that the Mets aren't getting another ballot. Rumor has it.
Yeah, I know that because they said the priority was pitching, right? And I know they picked up one bullpen and one starter. They're still going to go after another bullpen, and I'm hoping it's a lefty. As I said, I think Mike before you came on, I know they're looking at Josh Hader, which I think it's gonna. I think they wanted too much. Taylor Rogers from the Twins. He's another lefty. Is Chafin? I think Chafin's on the A's. I honestly, I can't remember where Chafin is. But is Chafin a lefty? I'm trying to think of some of the other arms. And of course, they said Iglesias, but Mike, I don't know. I don't know. Because they still need arms, right? And Ottavino, they needed an arm before they got to this point. And Ottavino really just substitutes Familia to fill that void. But there's still other voids that they needed to fill. So maybe they do get another righty reliever. I don't know. But I wouldn't be surprised, Mike, if they get another bat. As I was telling Mike, sometimes
I wouldn't be surprised either. I mean, and I really think that
do I think they need it? No, but as I said, I think it's more about strategy.
It'll be good. It'll be good to have, though. I mean, it doesn't matter if you need it or not, but it's very good to have.
If you have the money, if Cohen doesn't mind spending the money, right?
Which he said he doesn't.
And if he doesn't honestly mind spending the money, and if it's not about that, why would you if you have the resources and he's available, why would you let a guy like Freddie Freeman go to the Dodgers and make them literally instant contenders? They're contenders already without him. You said they're a favorite, right? Number one.
And I think it'll be poetic justice considering that the Dodgers were the first ones to fuck over Steve Cohen when he wanted to buy a baseball team.
Exactly.
What better way to do it than by
be a cock block?
Well, Freddie Freeman's being offered 110. Hey, Freddie, want to come here for 130?
Yeah. He wants to have a cock block. You're right. Forgot about that. He was in line to own the Dodgers, and they, didn't happen.
And good old Major League Baseball fucked them again.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. But hopefully there's news either by, I don't think tonight. I think it's over. I mean, I'm not saying nothing. It could happen. Don't get me wrong. It's not even 9 o'clock yet here, but I think we'll probably hear more tomorrow on a Monday.
Yeah, definitely.
But all right, guys, that was all. I mean, really just wanted to talk about Chris Bassitt come in, which I think is a major upgrade for the Mets rotation, especially in a rotation that has a lot of question marks heading into this year. Carlos Carrasco just came back from injury last year, so his not only were his innings limited, he didn't really pitch that much.
So we're looking at a rotation then: Scherzer, DeGrom.
No, flip that.
DeGrom, Scherzer, Walker, Carrasco, and this new guy.
I think Bassett's your third guy. For what Taijuan Walker showed us in the second half of last year, I think you got to put him I think he's your number 4. And Carlos Carrasco is clearly your number 5. But we'll see also, too. We'll see what happens in spring training. Maybe David Peterson does shine and he wins the 5th spot.
So you're saying that the new guy we got is going to be number 3?
I think so. I mean, again, I'm not Showalter. I'm not the pitching coach, so I have no idea.
Like, I'm bad with names. What's this guy's name again?
Chris Bassitt.
Chris Bassitt. Thank you.
Yeah. Bassitt.
All right. So then you want to do DeGrom, Scherzer, Bassitt, Carrasco, then Walker, or Walker then Carrasco?
Walker then
Carrasco.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Carrasco would be your
that ain't bad. And Bassitt's the lefty, you said?
No one's a lefty.
We got no lefties.
No, except for David Peterson.
I mean, what we're gonna do? If they do go after a lefty to start, you're gonna have a 6-man rotation.
No, I don't think they're gonna go after a starting lefty.
Unless you just want to throw Peterson in, like, every now and then, just to.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
Bit.
I don't know what their game plan is with that. I really don't. But they don't have a lefty starting pitcher. But they also don't, as far as I can remember, they don't have a lefty in their bullpen either. So you got to get like a Taylor Rogers. You got to get somebody.
Yeah, they're too heavy on right-handed, man. I don't.
Even Diekman. And Diekman just got signed by was it not Boston? Was it Houston? I just had the fucking page up. Where the fuck did Diekman go? Where's Diekman? Red Sox. I was way off. Red Sox added Diekman.
Yeah, I mean, you're saying Houston. I mean, yeah, Boston's the Northeast, Houston's Southwest. I mean, you're way off on the map.
Yeah, but what did I say before I said Houston? I thought I said another team before that. No, I don't think I said Texas. It doesn't matter. Whatever. Either way.
Who cares?
We'll see what happens. Again, just wanted to come on here, talk about Adam. Again, Adam Ottavino is nothing to get hard about. I mean, if he was back to his old form when on the Colorado Rockies, then sure. I don't think we'll get that. But it's just an arm to add for losing, what do you call it? What the hell is this? Okay, I'm going to obviously... how come I can't? How do I block?
What do you mean?
I can't. I usually.
The bots?
Yeah, dude. It's
Oh,
not letting me fucking kick.
damn.
That's weird.
Holy shit! What the hell is this guy spelling?
He's not spelling anything.
No, he's not spelling HNGG.
He's not spelling anything. But dude, this should be able to block.
I mean, seriously, your name is Adolf Hitler Nazi KKK 666.
Yeah,
that's a sick fucking name.
I know that. But what the fuck, man? Why can't I?
Bassitt should burn in hell for that. It's Melon. There's got to be a way.
No. I know I used to be able to. Because I used to block the porn and stuff like that on here. I can't do it. All right, whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to worry about it because we're going to end the stream anyway. Mike, I do want to thank you for coming on. I know it was last minute. I asked you just literally a couple hours ago. But then again, the whole Adam Ottavino thing just happened now. And or a little earlier today. And of course, Chris Bassitt signing came yesterday. So I just wanted to come on here, talk about our Mets, talk about baseball. It's coming, it's soon, and I'm sure we'll get more news sometime this week, maybe even as early as tomorrow.
Who knows?
So we'll see what happens. All right, Mike, have a really good night, and I will talk to you really soon. Okay?
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys. Have a good night.